Dive into week one and what a great schedule it is. All 18 teams play. They all play non-conference games, 3 on Thursday night, including 2 here on the Big Ten Network. Rutgers and Illinois in action. We got Jonathan Smith's MSU debut on Friday. 12 games on Saturday, 6 of them on our air. And we cap it off on Sunday, USC and LSU in Las Vegas. What a loaded weekend. Our countdown to kickoff brought to you by Taco Bell. All gets underway at 6 Eastern time Thursday when Rutgers hosts Howard, who is preparing for the matchup next to me as we speak.
Yeah,
you got a lot of work to do.
Gotta go.
A lot of excitement about the Scarlet Knights. 7 wins last year, their most in 9 years, including a bowl victory over Miami. Very favorable schedule. No Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, or Oregon. They did get a piece of really bad news this past week, though. Their very talented linebacker, Mohamed Toure, announced he's out for the year. He tore his ACL. Second time in the last 3 years he suffered the same injury. Toure led the Scarlet Knights in both tackles for loss and sacks last year. And remember, their other star linebacker, Tyreen Powell's recovering from an Achilles injury. A tough blow there, Yogi, likely will not affect them this week against Howard, although in fairness, Howard did give Northwestern a pretty good game last year when they played them, and that was a good Northwestern team in the end, as we know. But what are you looking for, kind of big picture from Rutgers here in the opener?
Well, I think you kind of nailed it. And if I was the staff, I'd do exactly what you referenced. You showed them the Northwestern game from last year, right? This isn't just your traditional non-conference opponent. This team has a lot of talent when you dive into them. The matchups is what I'm most interested in. And then I think the offense, of course, right? What does this new look offense look like? We were there in training camp. You saw different tempos. You saw Ethan Kaliakmanis play well. You guys know how I feel about the word discernment at that position. That's the number one thing I'll be looking for on Thursday night, is that by him. Whether it's a variety of tempos, whether it's certain situations, because this is the type of game where, yes, there are expectations. You have an opportunity to win more games than you have in the past. You don't have, the giants that you've had to play every single year in the recent history in the Big Ten. So how do you navigate all that? Because if you give Howard some time and some breathing room, they'll do what they did in Northwestern, which will scare the daylights out of you. So I look forward to it. I think, if my math is right, it's the 1,410th game played in program history in the birthplace of college football, man. So lots to be excited about, and I expect this team to be dialed and focused under Greg Schiano.
I'm going to trust Yogi's math on that. I'm not
just going to go with it?
Yeah,
right.
It seems right. 14-10. Yeah.
He's a bright individual.
Yeah, he is.
I tell you this, we watched Kaliakmanis throw the ball around in the rain while we were there in the summer, and we're really impressed by it. So much so, it was like, hey, maybe he's turned the corner. The other thing that's important here, he's been named a team captain, which is significant for a quarterback to walk into a new environment and gain all the respect of his teammates. So a lot will be on his shoulders, and I'm gonna tell you what, he'll be able to lean on that run game.
Yeah.
Right? He should be able to. They're good. They've gotten much better and more solid up front. I think they'll be able to run and have some success there.
It is nice when you have the Big Ten's leading returning rusher in Kyle Monangai you can turn and hand the ball to, so that'll certainly be a big part of what they do. After that game, we're going to be in Champaign, and we're not the only ones who are going to be there. NBA first-round pick Terrence Shannon Jr. will be at the opener trying to fire up the Illini fans. They'll take on Eastern Illinois, just the third ever meeting between those two schools, which are separated by about 50 miles. Yogi, what interests you the most about the Illini?
Well, look, they're playing a team that is top 25 FCS program. So again, scary game. You look at what Illinois did last year. I think they had 5 one-score games. So if this thing is tight, how do you navigate? I think I immediately, of course, are going to go to this offense. Can they control the line of scrimmage? They want to run the football. What can Luke Altmaier do in this system? I often talk about discernment. Also, you got to be able to control the ball. So I want to see spot throws. And if Illinois, who I think is another dangerous team, much like Rutgers this season, they'll be a tough out for everybody. He's going to have to be able to hit spots. So how is he? What is his comfortability in this offense? Again, what does this system look like? We know they have a ton of work to do defensively from last year to now, but I want to see if it's a tight game. How does he deal with critical moments on critical situations throughout the ball game?
Yeah, you talk about some third down situations. Being able to find Pat Bryant, I think, will be huge for them. He'll be the number 1 wide receiver on this team this year, and that's going to be significant. But he's got to do a much better job of taking care of the football in critical downs. 10 interceptions last year. They've got to get off to a fast start offensively.
Turnovers in general, huge issue for this team last year. They committed too many and did not generate nearly as many as they wanted to, and that kind of speaks to the defense. Remember, first in the nation scoring defense 2 years ago, 12th in the Big Ten last year. So we'll see if the defense bounces back, as Yogi alluded to as well.